Well, we've been lucky enough to spend the last 9 days having our hearts, our minds, and occasionally our libidos hooked and prodded in the best possible sense, in the company of 196 terrific films. Great provocation for a response to the stimulus we've been receiving in wondrous ways on screen, and ironic. But while so many stories we've watched unfold on screen this last week have been a source of enlightenment, a story unfolding about a half a world away in France has been about the attempt to stifle our ability to express ourselves freely. I'm referring, of course, to the murder of 10 journalists at Charlie Hebdo magazine in Paris, along with the innocents who died with them, in the name of the very freedom of expression those journalists and cartoonists stood for, and that we here at the Palm Springs International Film Festival stand for. It's only fitting, then, that even as we mourn the death of those who died defending freedom of expression in France, we celebrate the power of film here at home, the power to illuminate our lives and openly go into other worlds, provoking dialogue rather than division, and offering knowledge rather than ignorance and fear. That's a power much more potent than any amount of terror or intimidation. We should also give thanks to the power of film to entertain us as well as illuminate. Comedies that make us laugh, that's important. Laughing helps, it's like jogging inside. Engrossing forays into the world of art, music, literature, and performance, making every art form available to the widest possible audience, no matter where you live or what you can afford to pay. In classic genre films like thrillers, horror films, romantic dramas, and so on, round out the riches we've been lucky enough to enjoy over this last weekend. Though this is by no means a trial, we have several juries to deliberate over specific sections of this year's film lineup, forcing them to choose a very favorite among so many favorites on view in each category. Of course, the ultimate jury is the audience of filmgoers who support the festival and its films in such large numbers. But their verdict won't be known until tomorrow night when we counted the last vote from the last screening of this year's festival. For the rest of us, decision day has come. And here to welcome the jury for the first award of the 2015 Palm Springs International Film Festival, producer, author, film journalist, and all-around great man, Peter Bart.
Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure for me to be involved in anything to do with documentaries. I personally produced 7 films, theatrical films, and I produced 1 documentary for HBO. And I went $600,000 over budget, and for some reason they haven't asked me to produce a second. I am subbing for Michael Childers today, and of course he and John Schlesinger were an amazing force in nature. Wherever they went, there were terrific movies and also terrific parties. And this is the John Schlesinger Award that is going to be presented. John, though he is famous for his theatrical features, like Midnight Cowboy, he actually made his first impact as a director of documentary films. And Terminus, one of his best documentaries, won an award at the Berlin Film Festival, which helped energize his career, and from there he went on to make some extraordinary films. And John remained a good friend of mine. Unfortunately, the one film that we made together, Day of the Locust, was a bomb. Nonetheless, we remained good friends. Now, presenting the John Schlesinger Award today will be Galen Preston, Larry Weinstein, and Greg Barker, and I would like to turn it over to them. Thank you.
Kia ora, and greetings to you at Palm Springs. Greg is not among us. His child is ill, so he stayed back in LA to take care of his child. It was kind of nice to hear these priorities. I'm Larry, and I just wanted to say, you know, you hear all the time that you have to make a decision and that all the films were worthy of the award. In this case, it's truly the case. And I was sat down and started watching these films, and I ended up thinking, that's the first place film. And then, no, this is a contender. And I've never actually sworn out loud at a programmer for being so great. As Ken, thank you very much for this onerous task. But they were all worthy of the award. So we fought yesterday, and there's been some bloodshed. But Galen will tell you what our final decision was. Thank you for having us as part of this. What an honor to see these films and to be here.
Yes, a real honour. I concur with the previous speaker. The film that we have chosen is a masterful and lush meditation of an unknown world that reveals a strong humanity while pushing the boundaries of documentary filmmaking. Walking Underwater is a visually and sonically elegant work that never falters, an extraordinary film in an extraordinary year. Thank you very much.
The director, unfortunately, is no longer at the festival. Will be sending his award on to him. Why don't we take a And next up to present our Bridging the Borders Award, Bijan Tarani. Bijan?
Right here.
This is another amazing Palestine Film Festival. In LA, where I live, there are two major film festivals, and they offer free screenings, and theaters are just half empty. And here in Palestine, all the screenings are sold out, and people pay for it. So that shows how successful this film festival is. And it really, for us, it's like going around the world in 10 days and see so many beautiful films from so many different countries. We had 7 nominees for HP Bridging the Borders Award, which was A Few Cubic Meter of Love from Afghanistan, and there was Charlie's Country from Australia. It was Corn Island from Georgia, Three Windows and Hanging from Kosovo, Timbuktu from Mauritania, and Today from Iran. Again, like the last jury mentioned, it was so hard to pick 1 or 2 films among these wonderful films. But finally, we made the decision. And for the runner-up for Cinema Without Borders Special Jury Award, that will receive a certificate for method acting for directors from Lee Strasberg Theater and Film Institute, a value of $2,000. And then our main award, HP Bridging the Borders Award, the winner will receive a Z-Book workstation from Hewlett Packard with a dream color display, a value of $3,000. But the film that will receive the special Special Jury Award is about a woman who speaks out and stands against the silence of the world of the women who are victims of rape, and they are considered a shame to their society and to their families. This beautiful film is 3 Windows and a Hanging. But the winner of Bridging the Borders Award, Hewlett Packard Bridging the Borders Award 2015, is about an old man who is trying to find a peaceful place to raise her granddaughter who is orphaned by war, and he lives beyond all the borders, but still the problems of our world affects his life. And the film is a great resemblance of the world today. This cinematic poetry is Corn Island from Georgia.
I'm just going to read a statement from the director of Corn Island, George Ovashvili. He says, "That's a nice surprise, the big honor for me. Thank you very much for this amazing news. Bridging the Border sounds very excited. I think this is the main idea of the art, generally, to connect the people, connect the hearts, bring all of us together. I would like to thank to all of you, the organizers of Palm Springs Festival, which is really the People's Festival, and which more deserves this award, Bridging the Borders Between the People. The organization who gives this very important award, the juries, the best audience, I'm in Palm Springs ever. Thanks again, and I hope to see you again soon." So I am now going to talk to you a little bit about the New Voices Musicians program at the festival. As many of you know, we showcase work from around the world, from all sorts of film. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
To accept the award in behalf of the director of Corn Island, here we have the honorary consul of Georgia in California, Mr. Frank Darink.
Thank you, Mr. Karani. On behalf of Mr. Overshvili, I'm proud to be able to be here to represent him in the country of Georgia. Not only does he bring the artistry, he also brings recognition to this small but very important country on the Silk Road. So thank you very much to the Film Festival and for Mr. Thank you.
Hewlett Packard has been, the company was being sponsored this award, and thank you to Hewlett Packard.
It is my great pleasure. My name is Helen Dupont, the Artistic Director of the Festival, and it is my great pleasure to tell you a little bit about the New Visions New Voices Award. So we have filmmakers from all over the world, many of them are senior filmmakers, but we also have a very special presentation of emerging filmmakers. The New Vision New Voices Award is, in the selection there are 10 films that are pre-selected. They do not have U.S. distribution. They are U.S. premieres, and they are directorial debuts. We bring in a jury of 3 distributors to see this work with the idea that somehow we will help these directors connect with distribution channels in this country. We had a wonderful jury to share, and I would like to introduce you to them. I'd also like to, is Mike Dellatore here? Is Mike here? Great. Oh, great. So Mike is going to come up and just tell you a little bit about the prize for this award first. Please join me in a warm welcome for our sponsor of this award, Mike Dellatore from Television Education and
How's everyone doing? I want to say this is our 12th year at the festival, probably more. I can't remember off the top of my head, but we at Panavision are really proud to be a part of this festival. And I want to say last year we had our 60th anniversary. And since the first year till every year that's coming up, we are constantly looking for new filmmakers, people to challenge us with their challenges and making, you know, their visually, these creations that are visual to us and move us. And for us to be able to be a part of the festival and be able to tap into filmmakers from different parts that maybe we wouldn't be able to see in other places is really beneficial to us. So because of that, we offer a very substantial award in that we give a camera package to the winner for a, it's basically a rental for their next production. It's a free package, and if you were to rent it from us, it would be around $60,000. So it'd be a significant savings in your budget for the filmmaker's next project. This is something that we constantly do, actually throughout the years at Panavision, and we've been doing for a long time. And this is one of those ways of us being able to, you know, reach out to more people, see these new voices, help out more, and eventually, you know, welcome these people to actually what we call our Panavision family. So, thank you.
And the jurors for the New Vision, New Voices Award are Daniel Hammond from Broad Green Pictures, Danielle Di Giacomo from The Orchard, and Eric Doctorow from Random Media.
Thank you so much, Ellen. As you said, for the last couple weeks, the three of us have had the enormous pleasure and privilege of seeing 10 movies from 10 fresh new voices from around the world. It was, as to echo everyone else, it was extremely difficult for us to pick just one or two. I mean, I think this is the future of cinema here. We're in very great hands, and we're really excited and honored to be here today. The jury decided to honor two films. First, the jury was deeply impressed by this compelling, multi-layered, and assured first feature film by a director from Serbia. A child actor in an astonishing performance by Dennis Muric undergoes an extraordinary transformation in this personal, intimate tale set in a time of historical turmoil. Carefully considered, yet unexpected choices and bold direction result in a film that is both immediate and immersive, and the jury eagerly look forward to more work from this exciting talent. So the New Voices, New Vision Award goes to No One's Child by Vuk Usmovic of Serbia.
I let Luke know last night that he was flying, so this morning he just sent a quick note from the airport when he landed. I'm very excited. Even without the award, I had a wonderful time in Palm Springs. You were amazing hosts all the way, starting with the retreat, which was more than inspiring. Somehow everything made sense and fit into place. It was great to share with the others and to see that the struggles are always the same, no matter where you're at or what your budget is. And the whole experience of seeing America for the first time was surreal. I hope to come back soon.
The jury was also excited to see a strong, distinctive, honest portrayal of a female protagonist in a role which pushes the envelope on modern romance and handles female sexuality with a refreshing lack of inhibition. The director and co-writer delivers a daring, nuanced view which uses humor to offset the darkness of this exquisitely shot story about loneliness and life at sea. A special mention goes to Fidelio, Alice's Journey by Lucy Below Carfax.
We also have the Fipresky Award. The Fipresky Award is one of the most challenging awards to adjudicate. Every year, we look at all of the foreign language Oscar submissions from around the world. This year, there was a record number of 83 countries from around the world submitted films for consideration. We selected 51 of the 83 films to play at the film festival. And the jurors had to reduce that down to one film, which they felt was the best film. In addition, they also have a Best Actress and a Best Actor award. So please join me in a very warm welcome for our jurors. Ella Taylor from the USA, Michael Oleszek from Poland, and Ernesto Diaz-Martinez Guzman from Mexico.
Hello everybody. I don't sound like I'm from the United States, but I assure you I am citizen. As the somewhat unhinged mother of a thoroughly unhinged son, Anne Dorval appears in almost every frame of Javier Dolan's Mummy. That is just stamina, but the jury recognizes her performance for the sheer expressive range of her transition from crazy mom to crazy wise mom, who's forced to make an impossible decision for everyone's good.
Okay. This is the Best Actor Award. This actor achieves a superb performance through dialogue, and is even more impressive when it's silent, planning his next lethal response. The Dressy Award for Best Actor goes to Haluk Bilginer in Winter Sleep by Nuri Bilge Ceylan from Turkey.
The adopt film for Winter Sleep, judges will come up and accept on behalf. It's a bit of an obstacle course getting to the stage. Thank you.
I don't really care for the democratization of awards at film festivals. Mommy was the best foreign film here this year, and it should win picture and actress. So there we go. And yes, I'm distributing its competition. I also just wanted to say to Peter that I'm just finishing up my 6th film as a director, and I personally used my life savings to finance 3.6 of them. And maybe that's why I've never gone over budget. The other thing I want to say, I don't know how many people who are here from Palm Springs, because it seems like we're mostly, I don't know, the elite. I just wanted to say that the great thing about this festival is that everything's sold out. The local people here love the festival, they love the films. But if you're from Palm Springs, these kinds of films play here all year round, and it's just as important that everybody go to see them all year round and not just wait for the festival. Because that's the only way we'll keep making them and distributing them for Palm Springs. So that's that. And I know I'm not talking or thanking you for the thing yet. As I got older, it was very easy for me to get very emotional. So I apologize in advance for what I'm going to say. In 1984, I had the privilege of distributing Jim Jarmusch's first film, Stranger Than Paradise, which I still think is his best. And it premiered in the U.S. at the Sundance Film Festival. I'm sorry, at Sundance. And I found out in advance, I'm sorry, not Sundance, oh my God, Telluride Film Festival. I found out in advance that a film by 20th Century Fox, Paris, Texas, was going to be in the same film festival. And so I called Tom Prassis, who was running their classics division at the time, and I challenged him, Stranger Than Paradise to Paris, Texas, for a softball game to see which was the best movie. And we never told the then director of the festival, Bill Pence, what we were doing, because he had nothing to do with it. So Tom Bernard of Sony Classics arranged a softball field in Telluride that I didn't even know existed. And then word of mouth started spreading about this game, And Werner Herzog, who had never seen a baseball game in his life, played on the Paris, Texas team. And Janet Leigh, who was there, showed up on her own to be a cheerleader. And it was, I think it was Ry Cooder. I got booed because I played third base, and I think Ry Cooder's 6-year-old son was rounding second when he tagged him out because it was an easy mark. And it got written about in the press. It was legendary. It was fun. But the reason I was there, the reason we had that fun, the reason it was a landmark moment, was because my boss let me buy this bizarre Jim Jarmusch film. And his name was Sam Goldwyn Jr. Sam died yesterday. He was one of the great ones. He was a great Anglophile. He had a flat in London. He was married to Peggy. And on a trip we all made for business once to London, he found out it was my first ever trip to London, and he stopped all the business so he could take me on a personal guided tour. And then when I went back on vacation, he said, you have to stay at my flat. I'll have my housekeeper do your laundry. It was just very exciting. And it wasn't just films like Stranger Than Paradise and Sid and Nancy that he had the balls to let me buy. But it was also the only time I've ever distributed a film that was the #1 box office grossing film in the United States the weekend it opened, which was the Care Bears movie. Although I think our president, Meyer Gottlieb, was more directly responsible for that deal. But it was a lot of fun. And I just want to pay tribute to this guy. He was my friend. He was great. He was a legend. Thank you for the award. I'm sure everybody in Turkey is thrilled, and we are honored to be distributing Winter's League. Thank you.
Well, it was a long trip from Poland, but it was certainly worth it. This is a wonderful festival. Thank you so much to Helen and to the festival for having us all, and to my fellow jurors. It is my honor to present the Best Film Award, and the citation for the best film that we have chosen in a very short deliberation, because we all thought this is such an exceptional work, reads as follows. At once timely and timeless, this film manages to comment on contemporary issues in a way that is both artistically stunning and deeply humane. The Fipresky Award for the Best Foreign Language Oscar Film goes to Leviathan by Andrzej Zwiadnik from Russia. On behalf of the makers of the film, we have Victoria Alieva to accept the award.
Hello, I'm not an executive, but I'm a representative from this big, huge Russian company, non-stop production, which did this film. We are thrilled and very proud to receive this honor from Palm Springs and Festival of Juries. Our film attempts to portray universal truth with staying close to its Russian roots. It's deeply gratifying to feel that audience in the United States respond to this story and the spirit in which it was told. Thank you. Thank you very much for Palm Springs Festival. Thank you very much for all selectors, and thank you for Alisa Salmon, which support East European cinema. Many years, and now we have 4 East European films in shortlist in Oscar. Thank you, Alisa. Thank you, Bob. Of course, thank you, Ella. Thank you, Ernesto. Thank you, Mikhail. You support our film a lot. Thank you.
I'm about to introduce Eddie Tadashnik, who's one of our programmers, but just before I do, I just wanted to take a moment to acknowledge our programmers here, if you could please stand up. So Carl Spence, and Mrs. Simon, who's especially got a brilliant picture of the Eastern European crisis here. Eddie Tadashnik, Ken Jacobson, and of course, Carol McDonald. involved. I just wanted to have a chance to acknowledge the programmers, but also to thank the filmmakers all. If we could just have every filmmaker in the room please stand up just to get a sense of the Thank you so much for bringing your films to Palm Springs and for dominating the last 12 days of our lives. So, without further ado, please join me in a warm welcome for Evie Tabashner.
So we are going to present, I believe, the last award, and it's the Cine Latino Award. The Cine Latino Award recognizes the best Ibero-American film in the festival. This year we have 27 eligible films. It's been an amazing year for the region, and I would like to have the director of the Guadalajara International Film Festival, who is one of the sponsors of the award, together with the University of Guadalajara Foundation in the United States, to tell us a little bit more about the award. Please give Ivan Trujillo.
Thank you. It's just a few remarks. I think everybody can say everything about this award. 27 films from Ibero-American countries. That's the third time we give offer this prize. We arrived to $10,000 as it was planned in this third year, and we really have plans to continue with this award. I think it's the best award is to watch the cinemas sold out, almost for all the Latin American and Ibero-American films. I just want to thank Darren, Kevin, and David, of course, and all the team, that is possible this prize. And you have to announce the jury.
Thank you, Ivan, and you have to stay here. Let me introduce you to the jury members of the Cine Latino this year, and please give a round of applause to Joseph Herrera, the entertainment editor of La Opinión, Nacho Carrano, the director of the International Film Festival of Gijón, Spain, and Tom Daly, the founder and president of Cinemaven, it's a distribution company. So I'm going to let Joseph.
Since I'm the only one that speaks English with no accent, I'm going to talk here. First, let me thank Eva here. She put 27 movies together. I don't know if you've seen probably Clockwork Orange. We were like Malcolm McDowell with the eyes open like this for 27 movies. So this is a relief today that we can here enjoy some cool drinks. Apart from that, I also like to make a toast for the volunteers of the festival. Very special, very nice, very lovely, like the town of Palm Springs and like the Festival of Palm Springs. So for all of them, let's make a toast to all of them. Cheers. And now it's time for the award. Let's see. We have a special mention. You know, I know we were told not to give a special mention, but we are, rebels here. So we decided to do that. Basically, the jury asked for its sensitive portrayal of the relationship of two spirited octogenarians, say that right, as they confront an inevitable chapter of their lives. Chapter of their lives. The jury would like to present a special mention to the film Not All Is Visual, Spain and Colombia. Yes. Somewhere around here.
We're like the Three Stooges up here, right?
There are 10 more awards.
Oh.
So.
Okay, so Ivan, please. Sorry, we haven't rehearsed enough this morning.
No, I don't.
The other way, if you can turn it around, so that. Okay. Give us a Let's continue.
So, for its melancholy and poignant multi-level exploration of romance and remembrance, the jury presents the 2015 Cine Latino Award to the past film laureate, Flowers, directed by John Carano and Jose Maria Escobar.
I believe we have a soundbite. Are we okay with the soundbite from the directors who learned that they won this award? So please take a listen.
Thank you very much for the award. It has been a really nice and great surprise for us. We have had 3 amazing days in Palm Springs. But unfortunately, we had to come back to Spain yesterday, so it's a shame we can't be there celebrating the award and receiving this amazing award. For us, it has been a really great experience, and we would like to thank the organization of the festival, to Eve, to Cheryl, to Leigh, to Lily, to everyone that has made possible us to be there. So thank you very much. And for us, this award, it has been very important because we think that it's a great opportunity to project or to make our language, the Basque, be known in other countries, in other places, so thank you very much. As I said, it's a shame we can't be there, but we will celebrate it here. Thank you very much.
One of the co-directors of Flowers, and since they are in Spain, I'm going to accept the award in their behalf. So let's take a picture. And maybe the jury, thank you.
Finally, in closing, I too want to thank everyone that's contributed so much to make the Visuals Festival such a success. The filmmakers themselves, obviously, are fans, the film suppliers and distributors who attended this year's festival, the press who've been so supportive of this year's festival. I also joined Jeff in bidding a fond farewell to Samuel Goldwyn Jr., a man who was truly a great friend of film and a great friend of film festivals. I don't believe we have any more awards to give, and if we did, we'd give them to each and every one of you. We've still got 2 days left of the festival, so let's make the most of it and enjoy it. Thank you for coming.